Hello, it's Natasha, and this is the second short presentation in a series of two, where I'm going to talk about how to keep your learners engaged online. This time, how to keep your online learners engaged in later weeks. So once your course has started, even if it has started strong, even if you have a lot of participants, and they're showing lots of enthusiasm, as weeks go on, you will definitely notice that some people are growing quiet or completely disappearing. And that's normal, but you don't want too many people to disappear. You don't want too few people to finish the course. So here are we're going to look at some problems and some solutions. There are some problems that I have no solution for. Let's say your participants find out that whatever you're trying to teach them doesn't really interest them or isn't really relevant to them. It happened to me recently as a learner. I started an excellent online course. And I tried to persevere, but I simply didn't see myself there, so I decided to leave. Not because the course was bad, because it was not, but because I wasn't interested enough in the matter to invest my free time in the course. Another thing that you have no influence over is people's private lives. Things happen, life happens, and people sometimes have to leave, even if they don't want to. But there are some things you can influence and some things you can change. So let's look at some of them. Problem number one, the workload is too heavy or too light for some participants who are very proficient in whatever you're trying to teach them, or who are very good with technology. The workload may not be challenging enough. And for others who are new, either to the platform you're using or new to what you're teaching, the workload may be too heavy. So one thing you can do is to keep everyone challenged at their level. So keep your benchmarks low. Keep the list of things that everybody has to complete, the list of tasks that everybody has to complete. Keep it simple, but then provide some more challenging tasks for those who are proficient. Provide lots of support, so your support forums should be there all the time. Encourage peer teaching, where more proficient participants teach less proficient ones. And adjust syllabus as you go. I mean, why not? You do that in your classrooms every day. You try an activity out and it's too challenging and you simplify it, or it's not challenging enough and then you invent some new elements to it. So we do it all the time. That's what teachers do. That's what good teachers do. And you should do that online. Not too much, because that would mean then that there were some initial problems with the way you designed your course, but a little bit is okay. Problem number two, too much teacher talking time. We get carried away online more than in our everyday situation in a regular classroom, because maybe we think we need to be there and provide help and support for our participants all the time. But that's actually not good, because then they will start relying on us too much, and they will not communicate to each other. They will communicate only with the teacher. I'm sure it happened to you once or twice in the classroom. So you don't want it to happen online either. Here are some solutions. Don't dominate discussions. Maybe during the first week you should be a bit more present, but then start to fade into the background, sort of, and give the participants more more time to talk to each other and to help each other and to simply chat and form connections. And also give them homework, give them projects. I sometimes like to joke and say that they should be doing all the work, not me. Ask them to make things also. Ask them to create artifacts. Things that will be, the result of their projects, that will remain after the course, that they will take great pride in and want to show to other people. Problem number 3. The forums have grown too quiet. There are no discussions, or there aren't enough discussions. Sadly, this sometimes happens. And here are some things you can do. Well, first of all, try to provide interesting forum discussions. And if initially you didn't, maybe try to invent things as you go, to invent new interesting forum topics, and remember to change things as you go. Also, make forums a requirement for successful completion, and have them respond to each other's forum posts, again as a requirement for successful completion. And give them collaborative tasks. No matter what your learner's learning style is, whether they like to study on their own or in a team, everybody will benefit from a collaborative task, especially online, because we have to perform and we have to work hard when we are members of a team. We don't want to let our team down. So I would say collaborative tasks are necessary in an online course because they don't see each other face to face. So you have to kind of force them to communicate and to work with each other. And even if they complain a little at the beginning, they will be happy at the end that they did it. Try it out. Final problem: no sense of progress. Well, some people find it very easy to motivate themselves simply because they want to learn new things. But everybody likes to have some proof of their progress. And sometimes online it is more difficult for people to see their own progress than it is in a face-to-face classroom. So here are some of the things you can do. Once again, have them create artifacts, because artifacts remain. I'm just going to give you a quick example of what an artifact is, because you may not be familiar with this word. It could be a YouTube video, such as the one I'm making right now, that will remain after the course finishes, that will always remind me of this learning experience. It could be, I don't know, a photo they had edited and turned into a motivational poster, something they can share on Facebook, something like that. Have them start their own blogs, either as spaces where they will reflect on the course, or as spaces where they will gather their artifacts. So blogs can be their e-portfolios, or they can be another place where they create an e-portfolio. Again, e-portfolios are great because they will remain after the course has finished, and the participants will take great pride in all the work they did. Last but not least, badges and certificates, especially badges. We are all childish and we like to get a badge for what we did, and badges can be awarded weekly, which makes them even more motivational. They look pretty and they describe what we did in great detail. And I personally love receiving badges, which is why I'm going to devote a whole section of this course, the final section, to how to create a tutorial